What's going on, guys? Jeff in here, Belfast 43 on the screen. That was the previous month's campaign ship. Tyrwit's my 43 commander. And let's look at some numbers with the 43. Okay, 9 kilometer, right? Standard, radar, smoke. Now let's talk about the smoke here. And he's the whole reason why I have Tyrwit on there. You're seeing some other numbers, but we're going to get back to that smoke conversation. Torpedoes, I have the 8 kilometer. Again, you could adjust that to the 9.3 if you use the torpedo range perk. 4.8 on the rudder shift, double rudder build, and 10.1 on the detectability. No legitimate armor on that front view there. Very, very squishy ship, and a little bit of a raised citadel. Okay, you're seeing double Curfairs, Flanders, Cleveland, some other good options in there we're fighting against. And let's get into the 43 here. Belfast 43, not an easy ship to play. Okay, you don't have the how do I want to put it? You don't have the tier 5s, right? So you don't have that top tier ability. Tier 6s can still punish you. This is the Belfast, okay? It's the same ship. It's just got some torpedoes and a little bit of an adjustment on some other small tweaks here. Okay, it's basically the Belfast at tier 6 with torpedoes, okay? It's more small adjustments. If you like a challenge, then get to 43, right? Obviously the campaign is over, so you either have it or you don't at this point, but my advice and how I would like to play this ship, I think Tyrwit's the way you gotta go. A lot of people would say, oh, well, you know, you should pick either Tennant or you should pick Fraser for the range. To me, I think what you get out of a Tyrwit build is what maximizes the effectiveness and success of what Belfast 43 is. And to me, it's a ship that you have to play smart. You have to play cautiously. Again, I'm choosing smoke over heals. You know, that's a tough choice, right? Because tier 7, you're going to be one of the very few cruisers, if not the only cruiser that comes to my mind, that doesn't have a heal at tier 7. Okay? And obviously you're making that choice for the smokes over the heal. But basically what it comes down to is, if I want to, I can have almost, I believe it's 4 or 5 minutes, almost a continuous smoke. So what I like to do with that smoke is I like to kind of push into a position, start slowing down, quickly pop that smoke, and then along with that I kind of disengage, let the enemy battleships or cruisers find a different target, send my shots out, reposition, use my 10.1 kilometer detectability to reposition, and then pop another smoke, begin opening fire again. I like to do that, and the reason why I like to do that is because I think that kind of gets the most out of what this 43 does well. Now, we're going to talk real quick. I just want to talk about some stats here. Okay, I have in slot 1 the turret traverse, and that gives me about 22 and a half second turret traverse. Obviously, I wish that was sub 20 seconds. To me, a 9.5 second reload versus a 10 second reload, I would rather just have that extra half second and have a turret that traverses quicker. Because, again, when I need guns on the target, I need guns on that target. It's just my opinion. Some people would say that half second matters. To me, I would rather have my guns on target because I feel like that's a bigger issue than that extra half second reload. And again, this ship, when you're playing it, you're not playing it like you're going to be actively engaging. Okay, you see here, this Edinburgh gets punched pretty hard, and we end up finishing him off, okay, with 2 citadels. But again, I'm not looking to actively engage. I'm using the smoke here, I'm disengaging, I'm doing that, okay? Now why? Because you don't have the heals, you don't have the survivability to sit there and go toe-to-toe. Cleveland's got a heal, you don't have a heal, okay? You don't have the health, you're a very easy kill, okay? But that all being said, you can still be a very effective ship. It just comes down to whether or not you can get yourself into that position, the right position, angle well, and when I say angle, I mean try not to give flat broadside. Now you can still get Citadel right through the face because this ship, the armor is so thin on the bow and the stern. You know, you can absolutely be punished. But again, you see the radar coming out there, okay? Now, it's a great job by the teammates to be actively shooting. I'm pinging the Shimakaze. He's off the board, okay? We're using the radar. We're using the smoke to get into a position. We're trying to control the center of the map here, all right? Something I also want to talk about The British cruiser line is not an easy line. We've talked about this before. You've heard me on my channel talk about the British cruiser line. One of my favorite lines, though. Okay, the 43 fits in perfectly with that cruiser line. And if you like a cruiser that's a good support cruiser, because to me, the 43, you're not going to be a carrying type of cruiser in this. Okay, this isn't a Cleveland. This isn't a a Kudasov or a Katusov or something like that, where you're going to basically pump out so much damage that you could single-handedly influence a game. You're not going to do that in this ship. What this ship relies on is good spotting, good team play, and with good team play, you can really influence the side of a map and a portion of the map. You have the smoke, you have a radar, you have a sonar. You have the tools, if you have spotting, to be an effective and a good ship on a flank. Okay. The key to the 43 is to know when it's time to kind of push into a position, when it's time to disengage, when it's time to pull the trigger on the shots, and when it's time to kind of just back off the trigger, not shoot. When it's time to okay, I'm going to make a move for this upcoming island. I'm going to make that push to that next island. Oh, we're starting to get pushed a little bit ourselves, so we're going to pull back. All those little things, those little nuances. You don't have that mistake forgiving armor like a Cleveland or some of the U.S. light cruisers, where basically you can go flat broadside, get overpenned, and not be seriously punished. I go flat broadside. If this curve first, you see I'm looking, I'm making sure that the turrets aren't facing me. Again, I know I got 23 seconds until my next smoke. I'm going to start opening up because I know there's basically zero chance that his main guns can get around. So I'm not worried about that. I'm going to make him pay for being focused somewhere else. And I'm going to try to get some fires. I'm going to try to get some damage. I'm going to try to influence a little bit and punish the decision that not being aware of your surroundings and not being aware that I'm here. Okay, I'm going to try to take advantage of that. So the curve first is looking at me. Okay, I know he's looking at me. I want to talk about a key to this build. With a tier whip build, you need to be actively slowing down before you initiate that smoke screen. If you don't, you're going to overrun your smoke every single time. Okay, and then you're a sitting duck and you're in a horrible spot. That is not a place to be. Now, you see here, we're in a good position. We have two good targets to shoot at. We have our smoke. Our smoke basically, from smoke to smoke, in between them is about a 3-second delay. Okay, so there's 3 seconds in there where I'm vulnerable between the smoke screens. This is a great tool to island hop. It's a great tool to push into a quick spot next to an island. Kind of pull out, let some shots off. Get back behind cover, protect yourself. Again, 10.1 kilometer detectability, pretty good at tier 7. 10-second reload, not the best. You have torpedoes. It's about a minute to reload those torpedoes. This is the British line to a T. I have the smoke. I just popped it again. Okay, this is what I'm starting to talk about when I say that this is what makes this British line decent. This is what makes it good. I've pushed into a spot where I'm not really giving them a shot at me, but I'm influencing the game. I'm impeding their advances. I'm setting fires. I have 3 fires at this point. You're not going to get a ton of fires with this thing, but again, you can be an effective ship. I got 75,000 damage. Pretty standard game. Okay, if you play the game well in this ship and you have a decent team, this is kind of the game you can expect. Okay, I'm protecting myself with the smoke. That's ultimately why I decided to go with the smoke on this build. A lot of other ships, Minotaur, I like the heal. Why do I like the heal? It's got a great heal on that ship. But this thing is just so fragile and does not have the DPM or the firing angles to really be an island hider. Okay? There's not enough going for it to basically pass on the smoke. Okay, so for that purpose and for that reason, I've decided that I have my radar, right? And it's not like I'm giving up a radar for the smoke. I'm giving up a heal. Okay, that's a big difference. If I had to give up a radar for the heal, or for radar for the smoke, as opposed to a heal for the smoke. There may be a different conversation in there. A couple of different variations on this build with the tier whip. You could do a standard fall, I believe it is called, and that whole perk, basically what it does is, if I choose the standard fall, it reduces as you lose your HP, your reduction in main battery reload time. You can get it down to about 8.8, 8.9 seconds. So you can almost chop a second off with about 10 or so K left in your HP pool. Definitely an option. My personal favorite, and it has been that way, is the Perceptive perk. I know where this destroyer is. I'm going to go after this destroyer. To me, it's very valuable, especially if I know I see a battleship. Let's say, for example, there's a battleship 7 kilometers, 8 kilometers away, and I'm shooting, and all of a sudden the target switches to somewhere else. I know that there's a destroyer that's obviously close in that battleship. I need to start taking evasive maneuver. It's a good defensive tool. So again, 43, very difficult ship, but valuable. If you guys like the video, leave it a like. I'll see you guys out on the high seas. Take care.